What's up YouTube? I'm here on NQ. Today is June 4th and I'm going to be reviewing the winning trade that I just took. So coming into the day, my bias was sort of neutral. We just swept all this trendline liquidity on the 1 hour and we were delivering out of these 1 hour gaps over here. And these 1 hour gaps were also 4 hour gaps. So that was a pretty bullish sign right there, but we also had this big 1 hour bearish gap to the upside. But then New York opened right here at 8:30. We left a nice wick to the downside and then we pushed up and tapped into that 1 hour untapped bearish gap. And in doing so, we swept out this high inside of a fair value gap over here. And I believe that's a high inside of a fair value gap on the 5-minute, yup, right there. And also, price ended up tapping into the 50% level of this big push down that happened during London session. If I draw this up right here, we tapped into that 50% level perfectly and had a nice bearish reaction off of it. So I was looking for shorts right here. And this leg right here didn't have a 5-minute gap. It did have a 4-minute gap, but I didn't like the size of it. And the 3-minute was a little too small. But the 2-minute was a perfect size. It was also a BPR. And we inversed it with some nice momentum right here on this candle. And this is where I took my entry. And I was holding for this low down here. And I was going to set to break even once we took out this 830 wick. And we flushed right through it. I took out half at the 830 wick, set the rest to break even and held for that low. And I ended up getting stopped out at break even with the other two contracts. And even though our first TP was protected, this 830 wick, it still is a 830 wick, so it's still a nice draw on liquidity, whether it's protected or not. And also we had an SMT at this high right here at 335. ES took that out, as you can see. So we did have a SMT. The only thing I didn't like about it was that I wasn't too clear about the bias on the higher time frame. I have a feeling we're just going to bounce between this 1 hour bearish gap and these 1 hour bullish gaps over here. But other than that, this trade was pretty clean, and let me just see the P&L on it. That was a $273 win right there. And yeah, let me know down in the comments if taking partials off at the 830 wick was a good idea, or if I should have just took all my contracts out right there because that was a 1 to 1.5. So yeah, let me know if you would have held for this low down here, if you would have took all your contracts off at the 830 wick. And yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.